There's a great story about a kid who's on the beach and he's throwing starfish back into the beach because the tide is pulled out. And there's these starfish that are getting burnt by the sun because the tide is pulled out. And he starts throwing, or she starts throwing those starfish right in the ocean. And this wise adult comes and says, you know what? You're never gonna save all the starfish, so don't throw the starfish back in the ocean. And the kid, the dumb kid, in that dumb wisdom, looks at the adult and says, you idiot, and keeps throwing them back in the ocean. And the lesson there is that there's a wisdom being an adult in recognizing that maybe it is a losing fight. Maybe no matter what humanity does, the sun will explode someday and we're gonna be dead. Maybe the universe is gonna end and we're gonna be dead. But it's not about the fact that the fight will be lost or that you'll die or that humanity will die. It's what we do while we're here. That's what's important, that when we meet our Creator, that we know that we did what we could while we're here. And that's what's gonna change your mind into an entirely different paradigm. And that is priceless. But they're not gonna sell you that because it's just not part of that whole system. It's not a part of that. So instead, what's the system gonna do to you? The system at its core is gonna traumatize you. It is gonna traumatize you and demoralize you and confuse you to the point that you don't even know up from down anymore. And that's what's gonna go on. And then what'll happen is it's like you're this ascending balloon, but they're gonna come in and they're gonna shoot the spear at you, right? And that's the trauma. You know, maybe somebody's rude to you. Maybe somebody makes you feel like there's no point. Maybe somebody makes you feel like if you're a good person that other people won't appreciate, boom, it shoots into you, right? And that's that first trauma. And now that's in your system. They've traumatized you. And then you start to feel bad and demoralized. Maybe you're just in a transactional mindset. What can I get? How can I get what I want? How can I only be in my body and never in my soul? You start to feel that way. And so then what happens is that you start to get numb. Because you're traumatized, numbness is perceived as entertainment. Numbness, say that with me. Numbness is perceived as entertainment. Say it again. Numbness is perceived as entertainment. Okay? Path of least resistance is perceived as good. Say that. Path of least resistance is perceived as good. Autopilot feels relaxing. Autopilot feels relaxing. Not being in that front part of your brain. But over time, what you'll realize is that you actually gain energy from using the prefrontal cortex. You gain energy from being outside of autopilot. And that's where learning how to execute comes in. Learning to be an executor is that point where you say to yourself, you know what? I'm gonna learn to execute. And when I do, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna begin to put a stake in the ground and say, no, this is me. I'm not just gonna be asleep. I'm not just gonna sit there in a derp daze, in this walking daze, being manipulated and used as fodder for some evil force. I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I'm gonna build something. And it's that first ability to maybe learn social skills, to build a small business, maybe to get a raise at work, maybe to build a philanthropy or to help other people, maybe to build a sport or music or a skill or something like that. That's when you're forced to break out of that satanic entertainment system and to actually begin to wake up. And so to do that, the main key is you have to embrace cortisol. Say that with me. Embrace cortisol. Embrace discomfort. The edge is the comfort zone. Okay, and so that is what begins to happen. We can show you different exercises that will help you to break out of that. Now, what will happen there is life's gonna get hard because you're gonna have the end of the day, you're gonna be tired and you're gonna crave relaxation and you're gonna crave a break and you're gonna wanna get high and drunk and numb and fit in and be trendy and get stuff and you're gonna want all of that. You're gonna wanna fall asleep and that's okay. That's okay, it's fine. But what's gonna happen from there is you're gonna realize that's not the path. And as you begin to carve out that ability to actually put a stake in the ground and say, no, okay? No, I don't want your autopilot. I don't want your numbness. I don't want your trendiness. I don't want your system. I'm not your freaking food. I'd rather die than be in the system. As soon as you do that, now you're beginning to wake up. And then what happens? Then that's when you can start to make things easier, okay? That's when life can get a little bit easier. Because what happens is you start saying to yourself, how am I making this hard though? Right? Because you've heard the whole like kind of Gary Vaynerchuk style teaching, which I love, by the way, love. And he'll say, you gotta hustle. He says, hustle till your face melts off your skull, right? And I've lived that and I've done that and I think it's beautiful. I love that he does that. He's helping mothers and fathers to build a small business in every spare moment they have after work. And that's real. But at a certain point, you know what you can begin to realize? The real difficulty is the illusion in the mind. You're making it hard. You're taking something simple and making it hard. You're taking something simple and making it hard. In reality, say social skills, meeting someone, maybe someone to date or network or make friends with. Is it really that hard to be confident, to go up, to joke around, to be yourself? They're not making it hard. Who's making it hard? You are making it hard, okay? You are making it hard. So I'm gonna give you a thought experiment, okay, to build off this. I want you to imagine right now, as a thought experiment, that this place, this dimension that we're in, this realm that we're in, is you hiding from God, okay? This is you as a teenager, your soul as a teenager, and you're throwing a temper tantrum at your parents, okay? You're like, no, I'm leaving. I hate you. I don't want to live forever. I don't want to have eternal life. I don't want eternal abundance. I don't want love. I don't want creation. I don't want everything awesome. I don't want to feel good. I don't want everything you've given me. I don't want any of it. I'm leaving, Mom and Dad, and I hate you. Okay? It's like, you ever see a teenager do that? You ever do that to your parents? Right? And God says, I gave you creation. I gave you life. I gave you awareness. I gave you love. I gave you expansion. I gave you eternal life. I gave you everything. But as a teenager, you say, I don't want it. I don't want abundance. I don't like that. I'm gonna be spoiled. I don't care that there's oxygen going through my lungs right now. I'm mad. I'm just gonna sit here looking at my phone in a little tantrum. I'm gonna go burn my brain, Swiss cheese holes in my brain, and get drugged out and drunk off my butt and just get super angry and complain and crap talk people and waste my time and be a victim and be at the effect and not take action and not say hi to people and not be present with people and complain and just run away from people that I want to meet and have everything suck because I hate you, Daddy. I hate you. I'm mad. Really, you're just a teenager having a temper tantrum, okay? And you're gonna have a whole different perspective when you have children of your own. And so that's a temper tantrum. And so what we do as a thought experiment, just a thought experiment, doesn't mean it's real. As a thought experiment, imagine that we said, I'm gonna hide as far away as I can from that abundance. I'm gonna hide and run away from it. And so what you did instead is you found other co-enablers to hide with. So everything that you did is meant to keep you here. And the beauty to go home, the beauty of it is so overwhelming. It's so attractive that you have to hide from it, okay? It's like the sun is so beautiful, but again, we can't look at the sun. We're not capable to look directly, nor should you, by the way, but we're not, unless it's maybe the right time of day, I don't know, but we're not capable of looking at that sun without very, very thick sunglasses. The beauty of life is so incredible. It's so amazing. It is so overwhelming that you can't even look at it. You can't even look at it right in the face. You can't even walk through a park, Central Park, and let it land how beautiful that is. You can't even look a friend in the eye and let it land how beautiful that is. You're scared of it. It's too amazing. It's too beautiful. The basics of life, you can't take a breath and feel the beauty of that because it's too beautiful. And so your mind hides from it, and you do everything you can to hide from it. And so what you do, think about somebody addicted to drugs. What do they often do? They find another drug addict, and they sit there taking drugs. See, he's letting it land. You sit there taking drugs, pounding them down with other drug addicts. What do they call that? A co-enabler, right? Have you ever had it where maybe someone gets in a relationship and they always have a tumultuous relationship? They can only be, and he's having the appropriate response, by the way, because he's seeing it, that you can only be in a relationship with somebody else who will make it negative. You can only be in that because you have to hide. It's a co-drug addict enabler. And so something like drugs, that's like they need that strong medicine, baby. They need that strong medicine. I've got to hide. I'm not coming home. I'm going to get high. And so you need something that strong to anchor you here in hell, in this purgatory hell, even though there's lower levels than this, but staying here, okay? What do you see here when you look around? Fish eating each other, animals eating each other, people screwing each other over. Where are we? Wake up! And people don't realize that, so we do anything to keep ourselves here. And all that we do is a distraction, hiding from the opportunity cost, hiding from what's beautiful, hiding from what's powerful, hiding from your gift that you've been given. It's all here to disconnect you and to keep you here, to drain energy right off of your soul and to eat it alive and suck you in the pit of hell. Okay, and you'll sit there and then you'll violate yourself and you'll do something sick and disgusting, and when you do that, you go more down deep into the pit and you sell yourself out, and you sell out your soul, your friends, the people you love, this opportunity. You sell out the moment. You sell out everything for what? For some sick distraction that is disgusting, for dopamine, to talk crap, to feel good, to get ego, to have attachment. It's sick. It's sick. It's sick. It's sick. Wake up. So that's what we do. In reality, most of life is so easy. It's given to us. It's given us. We have that ability, but we have to learn how to manifest energy, how to summon the energy, how to get out of our own way, open up the mind, and let it flow through. And so just what you're seeing me here doing now, speaking, all that I'm doing, this is not speaking technique. This is me not getting in my own way. If you've seen videos of me out of the bar or club, having fun with everybody, I'm not getting in my own way. When you watch me build an 8-figure business in a niche that was the hardest to build it in ever, it was not me getting in my own way. Okay, I woke up, I learned at a young age, I learned how to execute. I learned how to make it hard. I learned how to make it hard, how to wake up out of a derpy autopilot, path of least resistance, numb as good trance. I woke myself up out of that by making it hard. That's the first step, going from derper to executor. But then we go from executor to transcendent. We say to ourselves, why am I making this so hard? Why am I viewing this difficult? Why am I making this painful? Why am I thinking about this crap? I'm wasting my life on this. So that is the idea of saying to yourself, what is the opportunity cost? How do you detect at a core level, in my view, in my personal view, what is the beauty of life? There's books like the Tao Te Ching that are so beautiful. You can read the Bible, you can read the Bhagavad Gita, you can read the Power of Now, and look at these things and get present for a moment. You know, allow your mind to align to the Tao, as they would say. Allow your mind to align to source, and ask yourself, out of all this crap that I'm looking at and wasting my time with, out of all of it, what resonates? What resonates with ease? So see, at a lower level, say to yourself, how do I get out of autopilot? How do I embrace cortisol? How do I discipline myself? How do I make it hard? Because you're not at that level yet. But it's like a body, you have the skeleton and you have the flesh. And so the skeleton, that's the execution. Does somebody who's in a derp state need to just sit there and meditate? No. Somebody in a derp state need to make it easier? No. They need to be okay with making it harder. But then as you go along with that, you can come full circle, and all of a sudden, here's the big joke, it's easier to be at a transcendent high execution level than it is to be a derper. It is easier for me to sit up here giving my energy by not getting out of my own way than it would be for me to sit on the couch eating Cheetos. You understand that? This is easy what I'm doing. Does that make sense? This is easy, okay? Making money from a derp level standpoint is impossible. From an execution level standpoint is hard, and from a transcendent standpoint is easy. So we come full circle. We come full circle.